Alright, this is Vegeta8259, and this is the second part of my review of Master Grade FAZZ. This is the second time I've attempted this video. The first time I messed up the transformation and a bunch of parts fell off and it was just a big train wreck. So hopefully it'll go better the second time around. Before I start, I just want to show you this. On the gun, since the first part, I went ahead and added on all these little plastic links to the energy cable to the gun, just so you can kind of see that chain effect. You remember in the first part it was just black wire, and now here it is with all the plastic parts on it. Alright, and the first thing you'll notice about FAZZ is I took off all of his armor, that big pile of white armor right there, because he can't transform without with all that armor on him. But first, before I actually get into the transformation, I'll go over some of his weapons. You already saw his gigantic gun. This is his other weapon, the double beam cannon. He just holds it in his hand, and when he has his armor on, it can just mount on the side of his arm like that, or he can hold it either way. But this is actually part of the transformation, so we'll be using that later. He comes with a core block, which is just a core fighter folded up that does not transform. The cockpit opens and you can see a little pilot inside. And FAZZ does not have beam sabers. As I said before, these parts on the back are propellant tanks, but some of the leftover parts from the full armor Double Zeta kit are the beam sabers, which are completely intact. So that was a nice little surprise. They're really, really big. I mean, look at how big they are compared to his hand. They've got these little, this little switch right here that flips out, and he's got a hole in his hand so he can hold them. But the only downside about it is that there's no beams, it's just the handle. But if you're lucky enough to have a perfect grade, or any 1/60th scale Gundam kit that comes with beam sabers, I imagine would work. I just took the saber from my perfect grade Gundam, and it just happens to fit perfectly into these beam sabers. So it's just a nice little improv accessory he comes with. Alright, now let's get into this transformation. It's kind of tricky, and I'll do my best. It's not the best looking transformation in my opinion. It kind of reminds me of XS Gundam's transformation, but we will definitely try our best. The core fighter comes out. I guess I'll show you that first. The little back fin flips out. Nose cone goes forward. These gray parts come out, and he's got these little tiny wings on the sides. Very small wings. Kind of makes you wonder why they were even included in the first place. Cockpit hatch opens, but nonetheless it's a pretty nice little core fighter. And it does come with landing gear, but I won't bother getting that out right now. Alright, the transformation for this guy, he actually has two, or I guess three transform modes. This part of him, the top half transforms, the bottom half transforms, and then those two halves can come together to form an even bigger transformation. On Double Zeta Gundam, the V-fin folds down so to accommodate for the transformation, but it doesn't do that on FAZZ, so I'm just going to remove it completely. Alright, first off, I'll just transform his arms. The shoulder moves out, and the hands, you give him a fist, and then the hands flip around and go inside the arm, and he's got little thrusters where his hands used to be. Do the same thing on the other side. Now this is going to look different from Double Zeta Gundam's transformation, because on Double Zeta Gundam he had these like shield things, I guess, on the sides of his arms that when he transformed, they folded out into wings, and FAZZ obviously doesn't have those, so he's going to be lacking a little bit there. The chest armor comes up over his head, and the cockpit cover comes up. These old white thingies on his shoulders fold down and then rotate around. And this is where this double beam saber beam cannon comes in. The handle folds in. The these little almost like saloon doors they fold out. The camera folds down and the beams rotate and fold up this way. And you can even see there's a little cockpit actually on the beam cannon, where in the show I think there were like 3 pilots for Double Zeta Gundam. There'd be somebody in the beam cannon. Judo would be in the core fighter inside Double Zeta usually, and then there'd be like 2 more core fighters flying around outside the battle in case they ever needed to transform. Alright, and this is pretty much his transform mode for the top half. Not much to look at. Like I said, on Double Zeta he'd have wings there, but not really much you can do. Now for the bottom half. I'm going to have to go quick because I'm running low on time. Alright, these wings behind the backpack fold out. The legs are kind of tricky. Let's see if I can do them right. The feet fold down. The legs come out. They bend. The feet go up into the leg and cause these thrusters to come out. The whole leg, let's see if I can do this. There we go. The whole leg slides out this way. And I've got the foot in the camera. It folds around, oh boy. Folds around this way, and then the whole leg rotates and goes up, and this is not wanting to work again. Let's see if I can get this fixed. Oy. This is not wanting to cooperate for some reason. I may have to do a third take on this review, although I don't want to, but I may have to. Although I may just go with what I got and just have to deal with it. Again, the same thing on the other leg, flips around. That part came off, but that can be replaced. And then the leg rotates and goes forward like that. Let's put this back on here. Alright, and this goes backwards. And where'd the core fighter go? There it is. Core fighter fits right in where it would usually be on Double Zeta Gundam, or FAZZ. Double Zeta and FAZZ, really. Why not wanting to go in? There we go. Oh, that's right, I had the wings still out. There we go. And that is the bottom half transformed. And as you can see, it's really even more bizarre looking than the front half. I mean, if you haven't seen Double Zeta Gundam, they would have like the back half flying around, the front half flying around, and like another core fighter somewhere, and it would be craziness. I really don't know why I keep dropping the camera. That's starting to get annoying. Alright, and then for G-Fortress mode, you just dock them together. Actually, you fold down the core fighter just like you would in mobile suit mode, and then just dock them together like that. And you've got G-Fortress mode. Let's see if I can put it down and come back so you can see it a little bit better. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool, I guess. bizarre, but kind of cool in its own way. So yeah, FAZZ isn't supposed to transform, but he can. So I guess that about does it for this review, and I'll see you guys next time.